Hello everyone. Okay, what I'm going to be doing today is green beans and wax beans, picking them, cleaning them, and canning them start to finish. I'll spend just a minute or so showing about picking them, and then I'll take you inside where I clean them up and get them snapped and ready to can. I'm going to start on the green beans. See, they're getting plenty big. Hold the plant while you're picking so you don't wreck the plant. One time years ago, I had a big garden and we had to go out of town, and I told somebody they could come and pick the green beans. They left the bushes, plants practically shredded. It was wrecked. And all the rest of them were ruined because of the way they picked them. They really tore them up. Let's see, can you see these green beans? They're looking good. We've eaten a few, a little handful of them right at the beginning of the season, small tender ones. But I wanted to get some picked and canned for this winter because, you know, it's going to be good this winter. You get the idea on that, so I'll just continue picking and I'll take you inside. The yellow beans, yellow wax beans, excuse me, and green beans. And it's possible I missed some, but I'll just get them the next time. In 2 or 3 days, there'll be more to pick. This isn't a lot, but I'm going to count them anyway. Now, before I snap my beans, I wash them in clean water. I'm going to wash them in this sink, then put them over into the other sink and wash them again, and then I'll start snapping them. Now, the reason that I wash before I snap is so that any dirt particles don't get on the inside of the bean. At least not too many of them. You can't totally prevent dirt, y'all. We live in the earth. But by washing them ahead of time before I snap them, that helps remove a lot of the dirt and the bacterial load. So, and they're all mixed together right now, but what I will do is when I get ready to snap them, I'll snap them into 2 different. Okay, they're fully washed and sorted. Got my yellow beans over here, green beans over here. I'm going to start snapping them. I'll snap them right back into these pans, and then I'll cover them with some water and bring them to a boil and boil them 3 minutes, because anybody that knows me knows I like hot pack food better than raw pack. For one thing, with beans and other vegetables, it drives out some of the air if you hot pack them, so you don't get so much floating, and you can get more beans in the jars. I don't know how many I'll get, maybe 3 pints there and 2 or 3 pints in that one, I don't know. So I've got 11 jars ready. It's way more than I need, but and you may be asking yourself, why 11? That's an odd number. The reason why it's 11 is because that's all the lids I had left. That's it. That's all. That's all the lids that I had left. So, next shopping trip, I've got to stock up on lids again, y'all, because I can a lot. I'll bring you back when I get them snapped. I just wanted to share with you that I usually leave this little tail on. It's really just part of the bean, nothing wrong with it. And I'll snap the stem end off and then break them into pieces. I don't know if I can do this with my hand or not. Maybe get my other hand. My right hand's stronger, y'all. Anyway, I'll break them into pieces about that big, 2 inches. I'll do this one more time. See how easy they snap? Try one of these. Get that. Well, anyway. There. They snap. That one didn't want to so much, but it'll be okay because it's easier with 2 hands. Anyway, there you go. Let me snap these beans and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I think I've got everything laid out here. My rings. I've got a ladle for getting the water into the jars. I've got a slotted ladle just for getting the beans in there. A chopstick to debubble. A jar tongs. Clean lids. They do not have to be boiled or even simmered any longer. Jar funnel. A bowl to set my jars in. Got my jars in the canner. They're not heated up yet. I'm waiting till, I've got limited space here, if y'all remember. I'm waiting until my beans get ready. So here's the yellow wax beans. The light looks funny in here today. There's my green beans. Oh, let's bring them to a boil. Let them boil about 3 minutes. There goes my camera cord. Anyway, let them boil about 3 minutes. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. My salt. Now, salt is not necessary for safety in this instance. It's only for flavor. These are pints. I'll put a half a teaspoon of salt in each one. I use pickling and canning salt. There's no additives in it. There's no iodine. There's no stuff that free flow agents. Nothing. It's just plain salt. That's it. And also, because it is ground salt and not kosher, it measures exactly for what the recipe calls for. If a recipe calls for a half a teaspoon, this is correct. Sometimes the kosher is flaked and it measures a little bit different. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start putting beans in the jar. We're ready to can beans now, y'all. Here's my salt. You can get a jar out of the canner. I was mistaken a while ago. These boil, the green beans, if you want a hot pack, boil for 5 minutes, not 3. So I did them for 5. Get out a jar. I've got about 3 quarts of water in my canner. I use this slotted ladle to put the beans in the jar. This is the wax beans. And the green beans will be done exactly the same way. I'm just doing these first because that's the first ones I've come to. I think I didn't snap one. Hot. You didn't see me do that. Truth is, my hands are clean, the beans are hot, and they're going into a canner that's going to bring them up to 240 degrees, so me touching that bean is not going to make a huge difference in anything. Now, got the wrong spoon. Put a half a teaspoon of salt. You don't have to put salt, like I said before. If you don't want to, leave it out. It's fine. It has nothing to do with food safety. You can use, if you want to, what am I trying to say? Fresh hot boiling water instead of the bean water, if you want to. But the bean water is okay to go in here. And in my situation, off-grid and everything, I don't like to pour any water out if I can help it. Okay, I'm going to work the air bubbles out. Down the side, push toward the center. That gets them out the best way. One-inch headspace. I left it a little below 1 inch for the beans, and then I brought the water up to 1 inch. It's a damp towel. It's clean. I'm not using vinegar to wipe the rim because there's no fat or sugar or anything like that to get stuck on there. clean lid on, clean ring, and you know, set it on the towel, turn it until the jar starts to turn, and that's as tight as it needs to be. Okay, I'm going to get the rest of these in the canner. Put the canner lid on the canner. I wound up with 2 pints of yellow wax beans, 3 pints of green beans, and 1 pint of green and wax beans mixed. And there's like a handful of beans here I might just snack around on. So I'll bring you back after I get the lid on. Okay, the canner lid is on. I'm not going to be following the pressure gauge this time. I'm going to be waiting for this to vent for 10 minutes, and I'll use the app that I put on my Kindle to set the time on that. I really like that app. The only thing it doesn't tell you is how long. It just tells you on hot pack, or it says, are you going to do hot pack or raw pack? I chose hot pack. It does not say how to do hot pack as far as how long to boil the beans or anything like that. So you kind of have to look that up. But it has all kinds of other neat tools and quite a few canning recipes. So as soon as it starts steaming, a full steady stream of steam, bring you back and show you that. Okay, there we go. It's hard to see, but there is steam coming out. It's bubbling and some steam coming. So now I'm going to set the timer on this Kindle on the canning app for 10 minutes. So there, it's set. It'll count it down and it'll tell me when it's time to put the weight on. Time to put the weight on. I forgot to bring it over here with me. So here's the weight. Turn the alarm off. It's also got instructions to put the weight on and let the pressure build up. So I'm going to tick off, put the weight on. Get you turned a little bit. Okay. Now the weight goes on. Just like that. And start rocking after this comes up. You've seen this before. This little button, oh, I just barely touched it, it came up. It's got a good head of steam in there. So I'll let the pressure build up and let the weight start rocking. Don't come knocking if the weight's not rocking. I don't know what that means. Okay. Let me get it. Yeah, that little button came up fast this time. Trying to get it adjusted, y'all. As soon as it starts rocking, it started rocking. It's rocking a little fast, so I turn the heat down. It takes a few minutes for it to catch up, like that. Here, whoops, let me bring you back. Here's the Kindle with a time on it. It's only 20 minutes for green beans. Now, there it goes. So, I'll bring you back when I'm taking them out. Time is up. Hit the next button right there. It'll say remove from heat. I never have removed one from heat. But I do turn the heat off. Now, that will stop rocking in a little while. Let it get down to 0 on here. Or, if you don't have a gauge, then all you have to do is give it some time. 30 minutes, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. Kind of depends on the day. You see, that's already slowing down. probably about where it should have been rocking to begin with. I had it up a little too high. But the thing is, it's always going to be at the right pressure even when it's turned up too high. It's not going to be higher pressure. So it'll be fine. Anyway, I'm just going to relax for about an hour. Come back to it and show you something. Okay, it's been done. The pressure's been down about an hour. Or pressure hasn't been down an hour, but it's been done about an hour. I'm going to check. Yep, nothing's coming out. So now that it's fully depressurized, give it the 10-minute wait inside the canner. And then I'll be back. I'm getting ready to open the canner. When you lift the lid off the canner, you've already got it loosened. Always point it away from you. Let the steam go away from your face. Okay, now I am going to pull my jars of green beans out of the canner. I'm going to pull them straight up. Take them over to the towel, set them straight down. I don't tilt them to get the water off the top. Straight up, over to the towel, straight down. Okay, there they are. Now they can sit. Better shot. They can sit and cool for at least 12 hours. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm not going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and check them. They can be up to 24 hours. You can see that they're boiling. I guess you can see that. See them boiling? It's usually a sign that they're going to seal. I hear one popping. So there you have it. 3 pints of green beans, 2 pints of waxed beans, and then 1 pint of mixed green and waxed beans, because that's what was left. Now I'm going to let these sit for at least 12 hours, as I said. Up to 24. I will check the seals tomorrow. I'll remove the rings. I'll clean the jars. Alright. Yellow, excuse me, wax beans or green beans on the top. And the month and the year. I'm not concerned about the actual date. Only the month and the year on the lid. You can put fancy labels on if you want to, and those are beautiful done that way. I just take a Sharpie and write on the lid, and then I store them away. Thanks for watching.